top of the hill marks the approximate point of entry into the caverns. For those of you who are not familiar with caverns, these formations hanging down from the ceiling are called stalactites. Those that you see building from the floor up are called stalagmites. Now when these two join together, they become a column or a pillar, such as the one before us. We have a few simple rules we ask you to follow on the caverns. Formations that are dry and powdery have stopped growing. And all coloration of the caverns is natural. We do not use colored lights. The white manganese oxide and the reddish brown, the color which you see dominates the caverns, is iron oxide. On numerous spots throughout the tour you will see small patches of green. The green moss or algae is called stalactites. So may I have any questions so far? Beneath the Luray Caverns natural bridge, this looks like a miniature of the one located in the southern end of the Shenandoah Valley. Now if you look along the wall, we have what looks like a fish market. These fish look like they have been cut and cleaned and they're now hanging to dry. Okay, just up ahead we'll pass a dream or mirror lake. This pool of water makes a perfect reflection of the ceiling. This is the largest body of water in the caverns. Although it's not the deepest, it's about 24 inches in depth. On your right is a dream or a mirror lake, and this is a reflection of the ceiling. Up 100 feet long, and it's 70 to 90 feet in depth. This was the main horizontal channel of water during the formation of the caverns. This white lighted column in the chasm is the spectral column or Plutos Ghost. We call this Plutos Ghost because we see it 2 more times on the tour. This ghost seems to follow us or haunt us throughout the tour. Now just up ahead as you round the turn, we have what looks like a large set of false teeth. These teeth look like they're complete with uppers and lowers, right here. Okay, and this is a wish rock. You wish you would have seen it before you hit it, so please watch your head as you round the turn. What do you think?
I don't know.
Think it'll work?
No.
So now overlooking Skeleton's Gorge, Andrew Campbell found numerous bones scattered throughout the lower walkway. These bones were of an Indian girl about the age of 14. Since a full skeleton of this girl was never found, we're not exactly for sure how she became in the caverns. But two of the most popular theories is that she had died on the surface, been buried, and then later she was washed in by water, or else she could have fell through a sinkhole, became trapped in the caverns, and couldn't find her way back out. When these bones were found, geologists estimate they have been in the caverns for over 700 years. And these bones are now on display in the Smithsonian Institute for further examination and display. You'll have your second view of Plutos Ghost. And Pluto is this white lighted column in the chasm. We'll view this ghost from one more location on the tour, and that's the walkway below us. Okay, we're now 96 feet below the surface of the Earth. The lowest level on the tour is 164 feet, which is John saw, and we'll be in that room in about another 15 to 20 minutes. We have just entered what geologists call the main body of the caverns. From here into we enter Pluto's chasm for the third time. The ceilings are much higher, the room is much wider, and the formation is more massive. This white flowstone formation on the far wall is commonly called the Luray Caverns frozen waterfall. Okay, but its proper name is Titania's wedding veil, and it's named in honor of Shakespeare's Faerie Queen. Just below the waterfall, if you look at the dome-like formation, it looks like it's sitting on a shelf at eye level. This looks like a Liberty Bell. And the Liberty Bell is also complete with a crack which runs right down the middle. And just below the Liberty Bell we have Snoopy's doghouse. And if you look close enough behind Snoopy's doghouse, you might be able to see Snoopy's shadow on the wall right behind it. This next year winter will be especially lighted for photography. If you have any questions about camera settings, there is a chart posted on the right as you enter. Okay, when you finish taking pictures, please follow me around to the far left. Giant's Hall. Now this is the most outstanding overall view on the tour. As you came down the walkway, you may have noticed the Halls column. This was named in honor of the late Dr. George W. Halls, and he was one of the first geologists to explore the caverns. This was his favorite column because it's a good example of when a stalactite and a stalagmite meet at halfway, and they form a perfect column or pillar. Now, if you look at these long, thin formations hanging down from the ceiling, they're the world's oldest and largest potato chips. This is what we call our Leaning Tower of Pisa. I will explain to you why this formation leans at the next stop. The most perfectly formed drapery formations in the world. These draperies look like they have been hand-folded and parted for an entranceway. They look kind of like curtains in a way, sort of parted to the side. If you look at the lighted area inside on your right, we have a bath towel. This bath towel is also complete with the double ridges. See that? The lighted area inside on your left is the old Indian blanket. This is on your left, the lighted area. You see that? You can stand where I was at looking as you walk by if you like. This fallen stalactite was at one time attached by the right end to the bare spot in the ceiling. Weighing close to 170 tons, it fell due to a major earthquake about 7,000 years ago. When this formation fell, it struck the formation to its left, causing it to crack at the base and lean, and this is how we got our Leaning Tower of Pisa. And we do have a life insurance policy here in the caverns that anything falls on you over a ton, you're fully insured, and plus you also get to keep a piece of the rock. In Giant's Hall, which is the lowest level of the caverns, we're now 164 feet below the surface, with 104 feet of rock and earth over our heads. This double column, which you see dominates Giant's Hall, is a good example of two basic cave formations. A stalactite has grown from the ceiling all the way to the floor in the front, and a stalagmite has grown about 3/4 of the way up in the back. Being 47 feet in height, this is the tallest formation in the caverns. Now, if you look behind me on top of the hill, you will see what we call Walt Disney's Fairy Castle. And behind you on top of the hill is a Dairy Queen ice cream cone or a white Christmas tree. Does anybody have any questions about the caverns or anything so far? Home of the world's largest musical instrument, the great stalacpipe organ. This organ gets its name because it derives tones from stalactites, which hang within 3.5 acres of the caverns surrounding this room. And these stalactites are tuned to concert pitch, and they're struck by small rubber tip plungers. If you look to the back of the room in the lighted area, you will see one of the plungers that goes to the organ. And the inventor of the organ was Leland W. Spring. There are two ways we can play the organ, and first is by the console, which is located here. This organ is now locked, and it's only unlocked during special occasions, such as weddings. There have been 216 weddings in the caverns. There's a second way we can play the organ, as we're here today, is by a control room. This control room operates in the same way as an old player piano or a child's music box. We use a large metal drum and a sheet of plastic. The sheet of plastic has many holes in it which represent musical tones. As the drum rotates, small metal brushes strike the holes in the plastic, Sending an impulse to the plunger causes them to strike the stalactite, giving its tone. Okay, what you hear today is a live performance. This is not a recording, and the song will be Old Shenandoah. Walk back to the back of the room. We have one plunger that is active during the song. This one right here is not active. Okay, if you walk back here in this area, you'll see four plungers that go to the organ. This one little area right here. This one right here, kind of in the middle, I guess. One, like the real small one up there. This other one here. It hits it about 10 times during the song. If you stand here and listen, kind of quietly, whenever the impulse is sent to you, you hear a real small click. And a split second later, after you hear that sound, just a split second later, you hear it being amplified. It taps on it very gently. It's not, you could, I doubt if you could just barely tap on it and get its tone. Just up ahead, as we pass beneath this man-made bridge, we will enter Skeleton's Gorge and begin the last part of our tour. This is the wishing well, and it's the deepest body of water in the caverns, reaching a depth of about 6 feet in the center. It is said to be the most productive wishing well in the world since 1954. Over $200,000 worth of coins have been collected. Every year in January, the pool is cleaned and the money is taken and put into a bank account. Every 5 years, the money is taken out and is donated to a various health organization. This chart lists all of the organizations we have donated to over the years. And the green coloration of the water is caused by the copper and the pennies. These eggs have been hand polished to present luster, and they aren't an exception to the rule. So you may rub these eggs for good luck as you walk by. Okay, once again, they are 50 yards ahead on the right. And the reason why I'm telling you this here is because the next walkway is very narrow, the ceilings are low, and the floor is a little bit wet. So please be careful as you walk through. Okay, these are the eggs, and once again, you may rub them for good luck as you walk by. And if you can pull them up, you can have them. If y'all like, I will turn out the lights and let you see what total darkness is like in the caverns. Would y'all like to see that? Yeah. Y'all can stand right where you at, dude. Y'all ready? See, it's this total darkness in the caverns. Right here's where you go back into what they call the hall spot.
Oh yeah.
Through there. There's another room back up in here. They call it the Leaning Tower Room. I've been back in there before. When they had the earthquake, it caused the formation to just drop down from the ceiling, just sit there, and it's kind of like this, but it fell from the ceiling, kind of leaned over to the side. Called the Leaning Tower Room.
That's through there?
Yeah, it's kind of a small room, but you can stand up in it. Thanks, everybody. This is the last stop on our tour. During the past hour, we have walked 1¼ miles beneath 27 acres of land, and we've seen distant views of 4 to 7 acres. The entire caverns covers about 64 acres. This remaining white portion of your ticket may be used for the historic car and carriage caravan, which is located next to the caverns and coach restaurant. There is over 75 restored cars and carriages in this building. And this is also a self-guided tour, so please take as much time as you would like. Unfortunately, we still have a lot of steps left to climb, and there is no rush on the steps. So thanks for your attention. I enjoyed being your tour guide, and have a nice evening.
I hope you enjoyed your tour of Luray Caverns. Now we have a cave video.